Welcome to the Q4 2024 update for Reveal. This video will cover some of the new features that are coming in Q4 and one feature that's already shipping. Let's take a look at what you should expect in Reveal this quarter. First, we'll take a look at the new toolbar. You'll notice as I hover over visualizations, there's more than just the maximize visualization button in the toolbar. We now have a refresh, a zoom. We have an option to add different lines to a chart so you can quickly do data analysis. You can do trend lines. So for example, exponential, linear, or logarithmic trending. If I go back, you have series average, so you can look at the average across all series. The ability to show and hide value labels, show grid lines under the chart values, and of course, crosshairs. These analyzers and helpers will really do ad hoc data analysis on the fly when you're using Reveal. You also have the ability to copy a visualization as an image and quickly paste it into an email or a report. And of course, you still have your statistical functions for time series, linear regression, and outlier detection. And you can still swap out the visualization type at runtime based on what you want to view in the data. And you still have your overflow options, so edit, refresh, copy, exporting to different formats, and renaming a visualization. If we minimize this visualization and I jump into edit mode, you'll notice that we have a subtitle on the dashboard level. As I hover over visualizations, you'll notice a new button to quickly jump into edit mode for a specific visualization. And you'll also note that there is a description for a visualization level as well. So now you can have descriptions at the dashboard level and the visualization level. I'll close this visualization and I'll add a filter. We've also improved the filter UI. So I'll just grab any filter field here and I'll create the filter. You'll note that the filter now has a gray background and it's a little bit easier to see than it was before. Prior, it was a white background and it sort of blended in with the dashboard. With the gray background, you can see it a little bit better. We'll close this out and we'll look at now the hover tooltips. You'll notice as I'm hovering over my visualizations, I have the tooltip following my mouse. One of the new features that we've implemented, and it's been in beta for a while, is the ability to move on to this new tooltip type. What that also gives you is filtering directly in the tooltip versus having to go to the filter bar across the top. And if there was a drill down, you would also get drill down options as you hover over. So in this case, I'll use the filter, and you'll notice that when I do filter by an option, there's a new filter experience. Instead of removing all of the data and refreshing the visualization with the new data, we're doing something now called percentage-based filtering. What that does is it gives you the value of the filter that you're looking for, plus the whole value in a faded color. This allows you to see not only the new data, but the original data. It's a little bit more user-friendly in terms of understanding what the effect of your filters might be. You'll also note that the filter now shows up across the top in the filter bar, and it has a blue border. So if I collapse this filter, I'm back to my normal screen. If I want to filter, for example, by Laura Callahan, that filter now shows up. You can see that my grid, my tree map, my components have changed. Now let's add federal shipping to that filter. So I'll select federal shipping. Now my dashboard is filtered by Laura Callahan and federal shipping. So you can have as many filters as you want. As we move forward with this beta feature, you'll also see multi-select filtering on a single visualization. I'll collapse these filters and I'll highlight another item that you might have noticed in the tooltip. You'll see that I have a section here called underlying data and a couple options. Show the data for Robert King, show the data for all the sales reps. This is a custom tooltip option. I've added this myself. So now you have the ability to not only add new items to the menus in the overflows, but you can add new items to the tooltips. I've added these two, and I'm executing some JavaScript code to actually look at the underlying data of this particular visualization. So in this case, I said, show me the underlying data for all of the sales reps. And this is all of the data that makes up that single bar in the chart. If I do the same for show all sales by rep type, which is all of the data in the visualization, we'll see that it is all of the data that makes up the vice president of sales, the sales rep, the sales manager, etc. So it's all of the titles that make up this chart. This is very easy to do with Reveal. This is just another dashboard that I'm creating dynamically. However, the key feature is that anything that you may want to do on a data point or visualization, you can do now with the JavaScript event right directly in the tooltip. And then finally, another big feature, which we've had a lot of requests for over time, is the ability to add paging to the grid. So I'll go into edit mode, and over in settings, you'll note that I have a show paged rows option now. We'll leave the page size at 50, and I'll check the box. I'll minimize the grid. I'll save it. And now you can see I have my pager at the bottom of my grid display. Now let's go ahead and do a filter. We'll filter by Nancy DeValio. My grid was updated. It's only showing Nancy DeValio, and I can use the pager to jump back and forth. This does a query for each chunk of data that's required. So if you have thousands and thousands of rows, we're not pulling all of that back at once. We're only pulling back 50 rows at a time. So this is a real delighter feature, not only for the UI of your application, but for the performance of your application as well. Paging works with Azure SQL, SQL Server, MySQL, BigQuery, Postgres, Sybase, Athena, and Oracle. That's a roundup of what you should expect coming in Reveal in Q4 2024.